So let's begin our second quarter, coach. So you played college football, didn't win a lot of games, you said, but you played. That's the main thing, getting that experience. Because if it's when you get that experience playing college football or any sport in college, you kind of like you when you go on a trip, you either ask for a tour guide or a travel agent, and they're two different people. The travel agent, they can tell you if you go to Jamaica, this is what you should do. They never went there, but they'll tell you what you should do. But a tour guide has been there, so they can tell you everywhere you need to go, even the little hidden spots that nobody will know about. And that kind of made you a tour guide almost.
Yeah.
So you can, how did that help you? And how was college for you when, as academics, being a student athlete?
Well, at first, going to college and because my school, a lot of kids went to college. It was a little small school, but a lot of kids did go to college. And
oh, they didn't?
They did.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we had more kids in my senior class that went to school, went to college than any graduate in our little high school. It was a small school.
Yes, sir.
But my point is, once you get there, then you get these new experiences. The coaching is different.
It's different, yeah.
My high school coach, he pretty much lets you do about when I say what you want to do. There was a whole lot of coaching, he run his T formation and that was it. But then,
That's right.
you get individualized coaching when we got to
college.
Friendship, because Friendship had a little team. We weren't that good, but we had a team, and you got a little bit more individualized coaching.
That's good, yeah.
See, in high school, we only had 2 coaches, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. And so that with that part, how was the student life at Friendship?
Oh, it was good. It was good. We got to meet a lot of people. It was religious. Wednesday night you had to go to prayer meeting, and but it was fun. I met a lot of good friends and from all over. Being from Clover, right up the road, you just knew people in Clover. Mm-hmm. But then once I went to Friendship, I started meeting people all over the state of South Carolina, Anderson County, Charleston, all over, South Carolina, North Carolina, Asheville, Charlotte. So, I met a lot of people that way.
Did you participate in any movements back then when you were in school?
No. One time we did march down to it was a place called Black Street.
Okay.
But I wasn't that movement kind of person because I couldn't do much past the other the chief.
Yeah.
They're nonviolent. You have to take that stuff.
You got to take it, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'd have to fight back. I tell you, I could take somebody, throwing some spitting on you, throwing something on you, and not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do. And so I said, look, I just concentrated on athletics, and I didn't march with them because I knew what was going to happen if somebody threw something on you. And you was told this is nonviolent. You have to sit there and take that stuff.
Yeah, that's tough, ain't it? To be able to sit there and take it.
We don't. It just wasn't in my nature. Take it like that, and I wasn't raised like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand.
But but somebody had to do it, and I my hat's off to those kids that could do it.
Yeah. The ones who did it.
Fine with it. Yeah. And I had a couple guys on my football team was like me from Anderson and some of the other places. They couldn't do it.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, the ones who did it, great respect for them because they helped pave the way for a lot of us.
Yeah,
and, and then sometimes, Coach, you gotta. I look at it like this: in sports, we always learn kickoff, right? What you tell the people: stay in your lane.
In your lane.
Sometimes in life, you got to stay in your lane, meaning that if you know that's not for you, don't go there and mess it up for everybody else.
See, me going there to one of those sit-ins or marches, and then it's supposed to be non-violent, and then we get violent.
Yeah.
See, we defeated what the whole thing was all about.
You defeated it. That's right. So knowing yourself first and saying, you know what, I can lead differently
Yeah.
different things. Because we all are leaders. We just have to figure out what we're going to lead in. Some people
Absolutely.
lead and they march. Some people lead, they might do a poster. Some people lead, they may be coaches or they may be teachers. We all
Absolutely.
have to lead to make sure that to build each other up. But
Right.
everybody don't have to be in the same lane either.
Right. That's right. That's right. And so and then you have to figure out your lane. You have to
Yeah.
figure it out. You know, you might make mistakes, but eventually you got to figure that out. This is me right here.
Yeah. So how can somebody figure out their lane, coach? Tell me about that. What's a good way to kind
Trial
of
and
discover
error.
that?
Trial and error. You screw up, you mess up. You say, well, I knew that won't work.
It won't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to try things, and you're gonna mess up some. And like I tell my kids when I'm coaching, I say, hey, if you knew all this stuff, then we don't need to practice. You can stay at home. We show Friday night and play football.
Yeah.
So you have to try this stuff and see if it works. And the same thing with knowing what to do. You trial and error, and next time say, well, I know that won't work, so I won't try this again. And then move from there.
That's good.
Yeah.
So when you went to Claflin, coach, how was that experience?
Yeah. Well, Claflin was a little bit different experience because after I left Friendship, then I got drafted in the military service.
Oh man, you got drafted. Not in the NFL, the military.
Yeah, in the military service. They're doing the Vietnam era.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so well, actually, I transferred really to Benedict College.
Okay, Benedict in Columbia.
Yeah, Benedict. During the time at Benedict, I was there for one semester, and then I got drafted.
Okay.
And then, of course, I did basic training at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and then after that, Fort Dix. I went to Fort Dix, and then from there to South Vietnam.
Man, how was Vietnam, coach?
Whoa.
Like that?
Well, first of all, it was hot. I mean, you got two seasons. You got wet and you got dry. 6 months wet and 6 months dry, and then hot every, 110 and 115 and stuff like that. And so I was in a unit where we didn't beat the bushes every day, but we pulled mainly perimeter.
Yeah.
Like that. But I was there doing the tail offensive and that doing that tough time. So, but I stayed 2 years in there and then transferred to Claflin.
Okay. So Vietnam, you're a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Thanks, coach. My dad's a Vietnam vet too. So that's so right. Being a Vietnam vet and playing sports, yeah, you gotta have some toughness about yourself.
Oh yeah.
You can't be no pushover, can you?
No. And plus, like I tell you, I told my guys something. I said, I about seen a whole lot. So in a whole lot, you can throw it, but I hadn't seen.
That's right.
Because between basic training, AIT training, and then a year in Vietnam, hey, you've seen a lot. Had 2 years in the military, which is and I can say it was one of the best years. 2 years you want to know because I grew up.
You got to grow up, yeah.
Fast.
Real fast, yeah. That's like being on a fast track, and yeah.
Absolutely, because I never been on a plane, but now you got to get on a plane by yourself. Fly to Seattle, Washington. Stuff like that. That's how you grow up and find out. Okay, you got to do this. You got to take. And your next station, you need to go. You need to fly from Charlotte to Seattle, Washington. You got nobody there to tell you what to do now. You on your own. And so that's the kind of stuff you learn. When you go to the military service like that. That's why I say best time. At the time I hated it, but I wanted to be back in school. But as the years went by, I looked back. I said I learned. You learn a whole lot.
But coach, isn't that how most of our lessons are? We hate it when we're doing it, but when we look back on it through our rearview mirror in life, we're like, man, I learned a whole lot that I wouldn't trade for anybody.
I mean, you take a look out from Clover and the fuzzies going. I mean, I used to go to Connecticut to visit my grandmother in the summer and stuff like that. But I'm talking about Now you got to get on a plane. You got to change planes in airport in Chicago. You got to catch your next flight. There ain't nobody around there to tell you to do that.
Right. So you got to be able to read directions and adapt quickly, right?
Got to be able to adapt on the fly. And of course, my mom and dad, they never. Well, my dad, he was in the military service, but my mom, she never flown. But my dad, he was in the military service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so after that, Coach, after you did your 2 years, so okay, so you went to high school, college, Friendship, Benedict, military. Then you did school in Claflin.
And see, at Claflin, they didn't have a football program.
Yeah, they didn't have football at Claflin.
No, they didn't have football at Claflin. And so basically they had basketball and they were beginning to put a track team together. Mm-hmm. And basically with Claflin, what I did was just, I wanted to make sure that I got all my paperwork together so I could graduate.
Okay.
I didn't worry too much about football at that time. It was always in the back of my mind to play and coach football.
So that was always back in your mind to be a coach?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, let me give you an example. It goes all the way back to high school.
Yes, sir.
We were playing York, which is a rival about like Timmonsville, Lamar, or Clemson, Carolina. I mean, that was your heated rival. I mean,
like Wade Hampton and Esther.
Oh yeah. I mean, a fight might break out in the stands.
it's going to break out in the stands before and after the game, and the bus might get rocked.
Yeah, the bus go get rocked. We already knew that. we knew that from the start. But anyway, we were down there playing Jefferson High School in York. Mm-hmm. And the game was tied, and we couldn't get much going. They couldn't either, and so it was back and forth. And so, coach sent in a play called a pass, and my quarterback got rushed. He got a big rush, and he didn't get sacked, but he got rid of it. And so, but I noticed. I said, "Wait a minute, they got an all-out rush." So I told him. So we're back in the huddle. Coach didn't know nothing about this stuff here. So I went back in the huddle. I told the guys. I said, "Listen, y'all do the same thing y'all just did." I told my quarterback. I said, "You let them come, and they dump it off." It was like a screen.
A screen, yeah.
But see, at that time, we didn't know about screens and stuff like that. All I knew is that they were rushing, and they had no sense of where I was. And so all I did was just kind of drift over a little bit to the right, and he let them come, and then he just dumped it off, and I went about 40 yards, and that was the game. And so after that, I said, I believe I can do this. I can coach.
That's because you saw it develop. You saw what they were doing. So what you do? You drift to the right.
Yeah, well, I was blocking for him, and so, the floodgates opened. And I said, but they had no clue of where the back was, which was me. Mm-hmm. So all I had to do was just chuck block like I'm gonna block, and then slip out. And so
1001, 1002,
and let it go. And he just dumped it over. No blocking. They needed blocking because
the whole team was in the backfield.
That's right. Everybody left was on the two wide outs. Well, not wide out, but two tight ends, and everybody else was coming. So anyway, we scored and we ended up winning the game. And so and after that, I said, well, I might be able to do this.
That was great.
I thought I was a coach.
You audible that thing, didn't you?
But the coach told me after the game, he said, you better be glad it worked.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, of course they're gonna tell you that. They're happy, but look, if it didn't work, but that's all about taking chances. If you never take a chance, you never gonna.
Yeah, but we couldn't do anything else. I mean, we wasn't moving the football. They were jamming us up big time, and because we playing pretty good defense too. So it was tied up at the time, and we were going in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter too. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but you're right. You got to take a chance. Yeah,
and that's how life works, right, Coach? You just can't always play it safe.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. You got to get out there and see what you can do. And that's what you'll know. If you screw up, then you got to say, okay, well that didn't work. Then we'll come back and try something else.
Yeah. Because my parents, they're both educators, so I would always hear like you got to monitor and adapt, monitor and adjust. You got to, and you're right. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is, and see, football, I think a lot of teachers need to be coaches, because then they'll learn how to adapt on the fly.
Absolutely.
Other than you got little Jimmy in the classroom, he ain't getting it. He ain't, and you know he ain't getting it, but you're going to wait to 9 weeks to give him an F. You should have corrected that when you realized he wasn't getting it.
Yeah, and see, that's what I said. A lot of people say principals and superintendents should have been old ball coaches. See, they know how to deal with this stuff and know how to make the adjustments. And so, so me and my buddies, we always joke, say the principal and all of them should have been football coaches or basketball.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they, like I said, you know how to make the adjustment on the fly.
On the fly.
And you may not have all the equipment you want, you may not have everything you want, but then and but you got to know how to deal with teachers, with teachers and staff. I mean,
okay. Well, let's break that down, Coach. Let's break it down real quick. So we'll break it down like a football program. So the head coach is the principal over the school because you're over the team.
Right.
So your assistant coaches, I guess they're going to be teachers.
You're going to be your staff member. Well, your top assistant will be your assistant principal.
Yeah.
Or how many you have? One, some schools got one, some of them got 3 or 4. But you're right, and then you got your teachers there. That's your staff. And then the students, those are your players.
Yeah, those are your players.
Pick your staff what you want, and then let your assistant coaches go out there and let them do what they're paid to do.
Right.
And get them ready for whatever we got to be ready for, whether the SATs or whatever, testing or whatever.
Yeah, because the thing about sports is during the season, we take a test every week, don't we?
Well, see, that's what I try to tell these teachers. I said, listen, see, y'all test at the end of 9 weeks or end of the quarter or whatever. I said, we test every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
And then all week long, we work on this and that to get to Friday night. Because my philosophy is game not won on Friday night. You don't win games on Friday night.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. And, if you don't get it right Monday through Thursday, then Friday night, you just out there.
Yeah, you just wishing for something to happen.
Well, yeah.
And you know what? And really, Coach, now, yeah, Monday through Thursday, but then Thursday sometimes, it's a JV game, depending on if it's home or away. Yeah. And I'm already thinking like, okay, we got the Thursday practice. It's a tough practice, but it's not really. You kind of winding it down.
Yeah. Well, see, Thursday, only thing we do is walkthrough.
Walkthrough. Yep, that's what we did. We walked through.
Matter of fact, and I'll be honest with you, I was so glad to see Thursday other than my players, because really Mondays we didn't make contact, especially my school, because y'all
1A.
We're a reputation, we hit.
Yeah.
But I didn't want us out there hitting on Monday. And so what we do on Mondays, we break that into groups, and we never came together. We just
y'all did separate groups.
Yeah, we broke into groups and we worked on basic fundamentals. That's all we did on Mondays, fundamentals. And then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we make contact. And then Thursday, walk through, rehearse, and then we out of there 1 hour. I said, if we there long an hour, then we killing grass out there.
That killing the grass, ain't it?
That's all we do. Especially on Thursday. I'm ready to come home and they're ready to get home.
That's right.
He game over there too.
So what was your degree in at Claflin, Coach?
I was a PE major.
Okay, you was PE, yeah.
Yeah, and I taught, when I first came to Timmonsville, I taught PE. And I worked in Clover for a year.
Okay, you did Clover for a year.
For a year and a half at Clover High School. But I didn't teach PE in Clover. I taught special ed.
Okay, special ed. Oh, good. Yeah. So, Coach, great second quarter. We're going to go to halftime, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about Clover and then Timmonsville.
Okay, gotcha.